Joel Yeager, Joelyager.
And your class and position at Columbia City.
I am class of 2024, and I am tackle and defensive end.
Okay, talk about this Columbia City Ball Club. What have you liked about this team as you've gotten together through the offseason? I imagine lifting, 7-on-7, different conditioning drills. What have you liked about this team?
Obviously, we have a lot of young guys stepping up. Of course, lost 22 seniors. But I think we just have a lot of energy, especially when you're in the weight room. You see guys getting hyped about PRs and you get hyped about lifts. And there's never really a time where you're just going through the motions. We're always going hard, trying to build each other up and just bring that intensity every day.
Last year at the end of the season, man, you were the cardiac kids. You were winning games in the fourth quarter, a long playoff run. How do you carry that momentum over to a new season?
I think with that sectional win last year, it's just now the expectation is there. I mean, before you only had the one win in 1990 or whatever it was, but now you have that expectation that we can and will win games. We can win games in the fourth quarter. If you get down in the first half, it's not a big deal. You come out in the second half and you just play your heart out. And I think that'll really be just go into every game knowing that you can and will win if you put the effort in.
Who are some of the guys that are going to need to step into bigger roles? Obviously, you mentioned 22 graduated seniors. You got a lot of holes to fill.
Right now, I mean, we have guys returning like Getz, myself, and Fuller on the offense, and you've got guys like Tim and some other guys stepping up in the linebacker position. But, I mean, a lot of young guys, especially in the offensive line, which is where I play, I think we need to step up. We got some guys shifting around. We got Uhair, who played some JV, played a little bit of varsity. We've got Hirschman, who's played a little bit. Tim coming back. He didn't play much, but he's a good player. And I think especially those are the guys we need to step up because we need that push. We need to move the ball and play so it takes some heat off of our defense. They did a lot for us last year, and we're trying to not do that so much this year and score more.
My name is James Getz, Jamesgetts.
And class and position at Columbia City.
Class of 2024, I'm slot receiver and the inside linebacker.
Okay, as I was mentioning with our last guy, you guys won a lot of games in the fourth quarter at the end of last season. How do you carry over the momentum and the excitement and the winning culture to another season now that you guys are kind of leading the way as seniors?
Well, I think we just never gave up in the games of the past, and we just got to keep that momentum and that mindset coming into this season. We just got to keep going, never give up.
Who are some of the guys that are going to have to step into bigger roles for this Columbia City Eagles team in this season?
Well, we lost 4 of our 5 linemen, so we're going to have to step up some. Like Tim, he's coming up. He's going to have to step up. He's playing both ways. He's going to have to step up and make some plays. Somebody else, Noah Pletcher is starting now. He's going to be the other slot on the other side. He played a little bit last year, and he's going to have to step up. He's going to have to make some plays on the other side.
When you take a look at this Columbia City team, where do you see as the biggest strengths lying?
The biggest strengths on our team right now, I'd say our defense is going to have a lot of new guys, but I like how it's looking. Everyone's working hard. Everyone's doing good. And I like the way that our defense is going.
For you guys, practice starts not this Monday, but the Monday following. What's priority number one when you get out there on the practice field for this season?
Our main priority is just to work hard. We got to know our plays. We got a lot of young guys, so there's not a lot of experience there. So we just got to get reps in, and we got to work together, and we have to play fluently.
Perfect. Hey, Coach, when you take a look at this Columbia City team, the thing that kind of sticks out is the excitement around the team and the way you guys were able to pull through in key games at the end of the season. How do you carry over that momentum into a new season where I think 22 seniors had graduated, so you've got a different cast of characters to a certain degree for Columbia City?
Yeah, it's really tough. Anytime that you're replacing that many guys, you're wondering like, hey, how are we going to do this and how are we going to do that? And some of the guys sometimes I think doubt themselves. They see some of those guys that were replaced and now they're in some of those positions and they're sitting there going, how do I do what that person did? And it's like trying to remind them that, listen, we don't need you to do what they did. We need to change how we're coaching and some of the schemes and some of the things that we're doing so that it fits your skill level and those things. So it's kind of challenging in that piece, especially when you're dealing with graduating 22 guys and trying to fill all those empty spots that we have.
So when you talk about all these new guys stepping into bigger roles, who are some of the guys that are going to be taking in bigger roles? Obviously, you have a different quarterback this coming season with Mr. Piper graduating. So who are the guys stepping into larger roles for you?
Yeah, for us, quarterback-wise, we're looking at two juniors right now, Grayson Bradbury and Zach Berry. So it's kind of, neck and neck with those two guys. They both do a couple different things differently for us, and so it's just trying to learn how to call the offense, so for their skill level and things like that. Defensively for us, like looking to replace Dominic Chacon and Josh Arns, and so you got Ethan McIntosh that's kind of filling that, and then trying to go with, Landon Fazio or James Getz playing a little bit more than not just offense for us, but playing some defense for us. And so it's not necessarily one or two guys. It may be a committee of guys that are trying to replace, a couple of those guys in those key spots for us.
For you guys, now that the bar has been risen at Columbia City, do you feel like a palpable hunger for these guys, especially the seniors, to make sure that they stay and compete at that level where you're competing for a Northeast State title year in, year out, and competing for a sectional title year in and year out?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a goal for us. We don't want to just be a one-hit wonder. You kind of want to be able to have some of those other things where you're growing and you're like, hey, this is the expectation now. Like, we don't want to lower the expectations. We want to raise the expectations. And so, one of the first days of the summer, that's one of the things that we talked about is like, okay, like what are some of the things that went well last year and how do we replicate those things? But at the same time, then you sat there and you said, okay, let's also address what didn't go well last year. And so by addressing, some of those things, can we fix those things or can we change those things, or how do we reach those same standards through who we have and what we have coming back or where we have filling in.
Perfect. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm great, man.